Fridge drying raw meats. I like to fridge dry organ meats for my dogs because 2 of them refuse to eat raw organs. Some folks might like to fridge dry muscle meat as well for treats because it's easier to carry around. The thinner you slice your meat, the quicker it will dry, of course. I took some liver and put it in a food processor with the slicer function. And I started off with it partially frozen. It's a little easier that way. You don't have to use a food processor. My second choice would be a pair of scissors and just slice the meat, or you could use a knife as well. I found that using a food processor, I usually do better with these hunks of meat. I can get thinner slices out of these going through the processor rather than the thinner slices of meat. And this liver started out already thin, and I wasn't able to slice it as thin as I'd like, but it'll work. So once I have it sliced, I prepare to layer it and to get some of the moisture out of it. So I put it in this heavy plate with a paper towel on the bottom, paper towel on the top, and then another heavy plate. And if I wanted to, I could put another layer here and then another heavy plate. Just this will get the moisture out, but to get more moisture out, I add something heavy on top. Once I've gotten a significant portion of the moisture out, maybe 15 or 20 minutes, then I transfer them to these pans. They don't have to be a pan like this. You could actually find stackable plates that leave air in between, but this is what I found at a dollar store and it works for me. I'll put a layer of meat here. I'll put this grate-like thing on top. Then another pan, another layer of meat, another grate, and another pan on top. So that way air gets through and your meat can dry faster. Or if you actually wanted to, if your slices are big enough, you can lay them across here and allow more moisture to drip down while your product is in the refrigerator. Depending on how thinly this is sliced, it might take about a week in the fridge before it's nice and crispy. But be aware it's going to be much smaller, but it's going to have the same amount of calories. So just be careful not to overfeed your pets. And if you are doing organ meat, make sure that you're doing very small amounts or you might get runny poops. And once again, be sure to check with your vet before trying this, especially if your dog is new to eating whole foods, especially if your dog is new to eating raw meats.